To discuss savings, we're now joined by the CEO of the South African Savings Institute, Elizabeth Lwanga Nanziri. Great to have you with us, Elizabeth.
Thank you, and good evening to you, listeners.
What is the real situation on the ground? Because it sounds like we're saving way too little, but there are also things like stockfiles that millions of people are using.
That is right. I think we have a two-way scenario here. At a macro level, there is the national accounts from the Reserve Bank and what you'd find with the IMF and global figures. Yes, South Africans are not saving. And that's the figure that's maybe looking at 14% of GDP or even a little lower than that. That's gross national savings. Then if we break that down, they'll say households are only contributing 1.2%. Then if we go further, household saving to disposable income is zero. Okay, sure. But on the other hand, anecdotal research information is coming out that savings in the informal sector, like you say, are increasing. Between 2011 and now 2013, we had a 31 to 41% increase in informal savings. So if the figure is put at about 45 billion per year, rands per year, and we have that is coming from 12 million registered stokvel members, that translates into about 500 per person per month. So surely they're putting aside 500 rand somewhere, not in the national account.
So a good sign, I guess, but still not enough. And I want to ask the reasons. We spoke to people, and everybody's waiting to earn more to save, but as we all know, the more you earn, the more you can spend. So is it a mindset problem in South Africa?
That is true, and usually we look at savings as a residual. And by that we mean people look at it from the perspective of what I earn minus what I spend, whatever remains is my savings. So that's why they say, I don't earn enough to save. After everything, I have nothing remaining to save. But that's a bad mentality, it's a bad mindset. If you set yourself a goal, and you say, I'm saving towards that goal, when you start spending, it's going to be one of the key elements or items you're going to be spending on. So it ceases to be a residue. So it won't be how much you earn per se, it will be, are you committed? Do you have the zeal and the desire to realize your goal and objective, so you put aside something? So few people earn a lot of money and they save literally nothing, and you find lots of people earning very little money, but they can put aside 1 rand, only that maybe the 1 rand is too little to translate it to something. But we wouldn't mind if they can put it into a form or mechanism that we can access it in form of investable funds.
I think we have to bring that home, that it's not linked to your income. What role do parents play and schools? You know, it wasn't there when I was there, and I'm sure kids are still not learning about things like budgeting, sort of the basic concepts.
Everything starts from home, we like to say so. And many of our parents are like, no, I never had this, let my child have. So you find many of us wanting to give our children whatever they want, lest we turn out to be, we're labeled bad mothers, bad fathers. So parents, if you don't teach your children, if you show them that money is easy, whatever they want, it's a swipe of a card, that's the mentality they're going to have. But if you tell your children, like I did tell mine and several other parents do, you want something, please save towards it, then I'll top up. Then it's a two-way. We both do something about it. It's not like I keep giving. So realizing that parents won't play their role, they just want to please their children, some of us inclusive, we took to the schools as the Savings Institute and the entire financial sector space. We go to schools and we tell them that which you won't tell them. It's nice to save now, distinguish between the needs and the wants. Maybe sneakers and Levi's might not be, the best way to go if you don't have a shoe at all. You can start low and go higher. One is a need, one is a want. And, you help them build goals and objectives for life. So a child ceases to think about KFC and going to a holiday, every weekend, but starts thinking about valuable investments like education. So you say, education is expensive, so we need to cut down on something and save for your education in, let's say, a Fundisa fund or unit trust. So she starts understanding those concepts.
So you look at the long term.
Absolutely.
What about government's role? Because they've also looked at incentivizing savings, so you get tax breaks, even talk of making some savings for retirement mandatory. Which is better, the carrot or the stick?
Well, it's, I think, the egg and chicken kind of story. So some countries we like to, we say the BRICS, But some of those countries had to engage or to get into a paternalistic mentality for their citizens. They say, you need to do this, because they know at the end or in the long run, they're going to bear the bulk if you don't do your part.
And did that work?
Yes, it did work. It did work. It's just that we are South Africa, we like to say this and some people don't want to hear it, but yeah, sometimes we need to understand that we still have our history to look at. It's so short. 20 years of democracy really hasn't taken away a lot of the inequality that existed. So there's still that gap, and government maybe is also still trying to see how to get people's minds at ease before they start, sticking them up. But yes, we like the way government is going about it, and they've even introduced they're introducing the top-up retail RSA retail bonds. As little as 500 you can start off and then top up with just 100. So that is something, start you off slowly. So they're doing everything for retirement as well, as you've stated. So they're doing everything for those that can afford or those that have learned and are ready to take the next step. So they're cautious, but they're also trying to help.
Is it also a problem that it's just too easy to become mired in debt? I mean, after Marikana, people were saying that the loan shocks were part of the problem, the desperation of those miners. And we keep on hearing that banks are tightening up, but there are all these avenues to lend money. Do you think that is something that should be looked at?
Yes, we had access to finance when we got financial liberalization that came with democracy in our country. That wasn't bad in its own. It's just that we didn't have enough education, so we didn't understand what it meant to access credit, for example. So we accumulated so much credit in a very short time. So as a result, many of us were burnt along the way, and then came the global recession. So all these things are also happening while we are happening in our internal world here in South Africa, and people woke up, got a rude awakening, as I call it, and then while they're learning, it's also difficult to blend in with the global and national economy, because people who lost their jobs in, let's say, 2009, 2010 haven't recovered them. So there's no employment. And if you had borrowed money and then you lost a job, you haven't got it, surely you'll just go and rampage, because you now don't have a choice. But the person, the borrower or the lender is on your back, wants their money back. So there's so many factors at play here. Dependency ratio is so high. If we don't improve our unemployment, we're still going to be in trouble anyway.
All right, so you've just got to start somewhere small. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much for your motivation this evening. That was Elizabeth Lwanga Nanziri, CEO at the Savings Institute.